So let us start with the class, and before doing that, let me just change the settings. Present. Okay. Now all of you have been converted to attendees. Hope this works and nobody removes you further. So shall we begin the class?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. So first thing I would like to talk about is the outcome-based education system. So as I told you, in the traditional system, what happens? It will be focused, it will be revolving around the faculty. So what is the faculty doing? What is it teaching? How is it teaching? This is all taken care of in the traditional education system. But this new education system, for which we are undergoing inspection by NBA, the National Board of Accreditation. Okay, National Board of Accreditation. So this is an organization which gives rankings to the different colleges. So it will inspect the colleges based on the facilities, how good the students are, what the students are learning, what are the facilities and all it will take care of. And based on that, it will give every college a ranking. And this ranking is used by various companies when they're taking interviews. Okay, not just interviews. If you're going for higher studies, there also it will be very, very helpful. Fine. In fact, many of your seniors have been calling us and asking us, sir, is there a chance that the college will apply for NBA? Because when we are going for higher education in the other countries, they are trying to verify if our college is NBA certified or NAC certified. So it's a very good thing that our college is already NAC certified. It has got A plus grade, and for NBA also, if we are qualifying with good rank, then of course your certificate will carry a lot more value than the other students, the colleges of whom they is not certified. Okay, so that's why it becomes very important for you as a student also to give positive feedback about the college. Fine, the college may be having some shortcomings, we know that not every college is perfect, but as far as possible we should try to highlight the good things about the college. Okay, I'm not telling you to lie about the college. That is also not good. Fine. So just try to highlight, just try to bring to front whatever are the good qualities of the college. Fine. So that's what will bring a better ranking for the college, and you will also get benefited in the long run. Okay. So now the traditional education system is a failure, and that's why the new education system we are going for. Okay. So the new education system is called outcome based education. Okay, outcome based education. And here the faculty is not that important. Here the importance is given to students. Okay, so no matter what is the quality of the faculty, no matter what is the quality of syllabus, no matter what is the quality of library, how much the students are getting successful, that's what is outcome based education. Fine. Of course, if for the student to be successful, the faculty and all other aspects are also important. Fine. But there are some students who will do better in spite of not having any of these facilities, right? So that's where the outcome based education system comes into play. Now for outcome based education system, every subject every subject will have some course outcomes, will have some course outcomes. Okay, so there will be 6 course outcomes for every subject, and for my subject I have already given you course outcomes. Okay, this is the course file. and all the planning that we are doing for teaching purpose, it all starts here itself. Let me take this course outcomes and I'll paste it here. Okay. So for the subject COM, these are the course outcomes. So COM, you already know, kinematics of machines. And in the last class, I have talked about what is the meaning of the name itself. Hope you're all aware of this. So now, to be perfect with COM, after studying through kinematics of machines, this course, and after passing this particular subject, these are all the qualities that you are supposed to gain. Fine. So what is the first one? The first one is recall and relate theoretical terms, concepts used in machine kinematics, and position, velocity, acceleration analysis. So these three analyses you should be able to do. And about friction, you should know its applications, cams and gears with their practical applications. Fine. So these are the things you should know about. Fine. And all this is at what level? These are all at understand level. So there are some levels called taxonomy levels. Taxonomy levels. And to be specific, they are called Bloom's taxonomy levels. Fine. So Bloom was probably some scientist who discovered that there are a total of 6 stages to our understanding. So the first, the minimum is remember. Okay. So if you are by hearting some concepts, definition, formula, if you are remembering something, then that comes under remember. So after remember, you should understand the subject, isn't it? Without understanding the subject, there's nothing you can do about it. You will be like a parrot who has by hearted some sentences, but it doesn't know the meaning of it. So knowing the meaning of that is very, very important, right? Isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's where these things come in. Let me turn on the camera. 33 students are joined. It's a good thing. Thanks for the great response. Where is the camera option? Yeah, it's here. Okay. So you can see me.
Actually, your screen is split.
Yeah. So remember is the minimum level. So this is where you're by hearting the stuff. You should just have to remember it as it is. Fine. But the next level is understand. You should understand what you remember. Okay. But what do I mean by understand? Suppose I give an equation like F equal to ma. Okay. So if you remember this formula, then you have covered the first stage. Correct. Now, if you want to go to understand level, you should know what this is. What is F?
Force.
Force. Fine. What is M? Mass.
Displacement.
What is A? Acceleration. Correct. So if you are able to explain what are these terms, what is their meaning, what is their definitions, if you are able to explain what is force, how it affects and all, then that's what means you have understood the concept. Correct. Then after understanding, the next stage is apply. Correct. Can you apply a concept without understanding it? It's difficult, right? So without understanding or remembering the formula, you cannot go for application. Correct. So that's why you have to cover the first two stages to come to apply level. So what can you do for application purpose here? If you know the mass and acceleration, you can find the inertia force. If you know the acceleration and force, let us say, you can find the mass. If you know the mass and force, you can find the acceleration. Okay? So all these are applications. So application is nothing to do, nothing but problem solving. So here you can see the first CO that we have, the first CO that we have for COM, that is at understand level. So you have to understand. So you have various definitions that you have to remember, and also you should be able to explain what is the significance of the terminology used in it. And that's why the remember this level, the taxonomy level here is understand. Next, coming to the second CO, we should be able to determine the velocity and acceleration of any point on planar mechanisms, fine, with simple revolute and prismatic joints, as well as gears and cams. So we'll have several mechanisms like a 4-bar mechanism, or a slider crank mechanism, or a double slider mechanism, fine. And these are all planar mechanisms, fine. You can also have some gears, fine. So gear will have teeth on it, correct? So gears will have teeth on it, and if one gear is rotating in one particular direction, the other gear rotates like this. And if the velocity, rotational velocity of this is omega 1 and this is omega 2, you should be able to find the relationship and be able to convert, okay, one velocity into another. So all these you have to do here, and that's why you can see here the level required is apply. Fine. And apply you can do only if you remember and understand, correct? Then next, the third CO, the third course outcomes is apply the knowledge of
Or the
friction.
knowledge.
Yes, apply the knowledge of friction to solve problems on belts and rope drives, as well as brakes and dynamometers, right? So you should be able to solve problems if you are given belt or rope drives, right? And also brakes. You see the vehicles will have brakes, right? Every vehicle will have some brakes. So if the velocity
Yes.
of the, yes ma'am,
No, sir.
Okay.
okay, any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, so if the vehicle is going with some velocity, and you are applying brake at this point, so at what distance the vehicle will stop? So these are the kind of problems we'll be dealing with here. And again, because you have to solve the problems, you can see the taxonomy level here is apply. Okay. The next, the fourth one, analyze the effect of variation in dimensions of the mechanisms using the CAD software like Onshape or Fusion 360. So this software that I have shown just now, I will be sharing the links. I will be able to share you the links. Okay. So we have got, I've prepared a complete list of all these mechanisms, and all these links I will share with you. Okay. Yes. So there are a lot of mechanisms I have made, not just for kinematics, in machine drawing also. Last time, if you must have seen, a lot of models were made, and almost all these models we tried to make it available, but due to shortage of time, we were not able to print them. But now if you come and see our lab, the complete, all the walls of the lab are completely pasted with these posters. Fine. Just give us a visit and try to find it out. So these are the links. Okay. And if you open these links, you will directly get that mechanism. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So when you open that link, the mechanism will open directly. And here you will be able to see that in animation. So you can just click on animate, click play button, and it will start showing you how the mechanisms will move. Okay. So not just move, you should also be able to change the lengths of the linkages. Fine. Like for example, I'm changing here. So instead of 40, if I take 50, how the mechanism will change? Instead of 60, if I take 80, how the mechanism will change? So now I've changed some of the lengths. If I click OK, accordingly, the mechanism will modify, and the same modification will appear here. And once again, if you animate this, you will be able to see how it moves. Okay. So the angle for which this blue link is rotating, that will change when I change the dimensions. So that's what is called position analysis. Position analysis. And if you want to find the velocity with which the point is moving, if you know the input velocity, you have to find the velocity of output. That's what is called velocity analysis. And if you are studying about acceleration, what is the acceleration of this red link? And if this acceleration is given to us, if we are supposed to find acceleration of different points on other links, then it becomes acceleration analysis. Okay. So that's what the fourth CO is talking about. Fine. So now the taxonomy
This
level, what is the
drive, sir.
taxonomy level? Yes, ma'am.
Are this rope drive, sir?
Rope drives also, let us see. The 3D models are not available, but they are comparatively simpler to analyze. So let us do some models, physical models, let us do some, and we'll try to analyze that also. So coming to the taxonomy level here, you can see the taxonomy level is analyze. And what is analyze? What is
Collecting
analyze? Yes,
object or something. All the information is gathered and calculations would be done.
yeah. So that happens in apply also,
Yes.
right? In apply also we do the same, but in analyze we go one step further. Fine. So in apply, what happens? Some values are given, and exactly the same values are given which are required in the problem. Correct? You are not given any extra values. Like for example, if you want to do a plus b, then the value of a will be given and the value of b will be given. There are no other additional values are not given. So it becomes very simple for you to apply and solve it. But when it comes to analyze the real world problems are not like this, right?
Yes, sir.
Are they like this? Are they so simple? No. In real world, finding question or finding the problem itself becomes the major problem. Okay? If a machine is not working properly, then you have to first find out why it is not working. And there will be infinite number of variables there. You have to find out, you have to look for the variable which is affecting the machine. And only when you see that, the problem gets defined. And sorry, please mute yourself. There is some disturbance. I request students to mute yourself. Okay. So please don't unmute yourself unless you have to ask a question or a doubt. Fine. Because whenever you unmute yourself, there is some disturbance created, and everyone will be affected in the class. Fine. So it's my humble request to everyone. Please don't unmute yourself unless you have to ask a doubt. Okay. If you have a doubt, of course, be sure to unmute yourself and ask the doubt. But unless you have anything like that, please don't unmute yourself. Keep yourself muted. So I was talking about the real world problems. They're not as simple as the problems given in the textbook. In the textbook, exactly whatever information is required for the problem, that is the only thing given. And that becomes a major hint for you to solve the problem. Whereas real world problems are not like that. There will be a number of variables and you have to consider all the variables, analyze them, and try to find out the problem. Fine. So that's what happens at the analyze level. So a number of variables you'll have to find out. And on all of these, a number of applications you may have to do. Right. Only after doing applications of all these, solving a number of problems, only then at some point you will start coming across the solution. Am I correct? So this is what is happening here. So here it's not just about solving a problem or remembering something. You have to analyze the what is happening if we vary the length by certain value. Fine. So all these things you have to do in this fourth outcome, and that's why it is at analyze level. Then the fifth outcome, you can see it's still higher than evaluate. Higher than evaluate. This is the fifth outcome. So we have to evaluate the given mechanism for potential problems in view of requirements provided and eliminate them. So let me say there is this problem of a 4-bar mechanism. Okay. So I want the wiper. Okay. Let me change the color. Okay. I'll take red color. Okay. So let us say that I want the wiper to move from horizontal position here to the vertical position here. So this is the angle that it has to turn. Okay. So this is our problem. So how will you solve it? You have to change the length of this crank. You have to change the length of this connecting rod, and you can change the length of this and this. So all these lengths you can change, and the end result should be such that the rocker should be oscillating between these two positions. Okay. So you don't just have to apply. You should know the formulae and how to find the velocity, how to find the positions, all that you should know. But you should also have to analyze the different specifications, you can say, or configurations, different set of dimensions, and not every set will be giving you this desired result. Fine. So after analyzing a number of different configurations, you will finally arrive at the configuration which is satisfying you. So that is what is happening at this level. Okay. So that's what is happening at this level. That's why it is called evaluate. And the last one, as I told before as well, so this is outside of syllabus. You will not get questions for this in the exam, but I just wanted you to have awareness about environment, and that's why we are using the plastic waste and other stuff to manufacture. And at the same time, I wanted your technical skills to be good enough. Fine. So I not just wanted you to have technical skills, but I also wanted you to have environment friendly way of doing certain things. So we'll be taking some waste materials. You will be observing a lot of waste materials at different places, like the window panes and all. When they cut, a lot of these side things get rejected, right? So a lot of factories are there around Hyderabad, which make window sills, right? Or various other stuff. There are a lot of industries, and you will get a lot of waste materials which are left out. So the industries will be generally throwing them away. So we'll have to collect these waste materials, and using these waste materials, we should be able to create mechanisms like this. So we'll have to make holes in it, attach them in such a way that the mechanism can be obtained from it. Okay. Any doubts? Someone
No,
was
sir.
asking. Okay. So is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So the last level here is okay. So the sixth level, that is create. Okay. So you can create only if all these skills are there with you. You should remember the formula. You should understand the formula. You should know how to apply it. You should have analyzing capability for that formula. You should be able to evaluate. And only after doing all these, only then you will be able to do creation. Right. So a lot of us might not have thought in this particular direction. So this is a lot more systematic, isn't it? So without following this systematic approach, also many of us are able to create some things. you must have already created. Like you can do paper folding and make aeroplanes and other origami stuff. So for such simple tasks, we don't require to have full understanding of this systematic approach. But as an engineer, when you're doing the same thing as an engineer, you should be able to document each and every step that we are doing. Are you getting? The same thing can be done by a layman and the same thing can be done by an engineer. So what is the difference between these two approaches? A layman will do it based on his own understanding of the concept. Fine. So he is not worried about whether some other person will be able to carry out the same procedure or not later. But the same thing when an engineer is doing, his focus should not just be on solving the problem. His focus should also be on documentation process. Why is documentation necessary? Documentation is, yes ma'am?
Like create the manuals for the people who will be using them.
Okay, for other people who want to use that, who want to use or make the same stuff or mechanism, the other people should also be able to make it. Fine. And only then we can go to the industrial level and mass produce it. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So this will not be possible from the layman. So layman will just have his own understanding, and if he tries to communicate his ideas, it becomes a major problem. He won't be able to communicate his ideas to the laborers, right? If it is a very simple component, maybe okay, he will be able to do. But the complexity of the mechanisms is it goes on increasing. The more complex the mechanism, the more sophisticated it is, and the more complex type of problems it can solve. Correct? And for such complex mechanisms, like if you take a simple automobile, for example. So an automobile is made up of so many different things, right? In fact, there is no single industry which will take care of all the components of the mobile or the automobile. Fine. So there will be one industry which will completely focus on tires. Okay? One industry will be completely focusing on tires. One industry will be completely focusing on, let us say, the suspension.
Windows
Right?
and doors.
Another will focus on the brakes. There will be another focusing on interior designing. Okay, the sofa set and what leather is used inside and other stuff. Fine. So there are different industries focusing on different stuff, and for such a complex entity, doing the documentation process becomes really very important. Because at a later stage, if you are coming across a problem and you want to rectify the problem, then this documentation process will be very helpful. Okay, so someone was asking the question.
Yes, sir. So far we are discussing about automobile only. So this topic is limited to automobile only or anything else?
No. This is kinematics of machines. Automobile is one of the machines. Because it is very complicated, that's why I brought it up. Okay. So engine itself is very complicated, right? So engine has various stuff. So we'll be, in this particular subject, we'll be studying about the kinematic part of the machines. What is kinematic part? Anyone?
Dealing with kinetic energies or it?
Kinetic is different and kinematics is different. Okay, let me explain what it is. So our family line, it starts with mechanics. Okay, so mechanics has two siblings, sons, let us say. So one is the statics. So one son who is static and one daughter who is dynamic. Okay, so you know what is the difference between statics and dynamics? Anyone?
Static means fixed position at a fixed position. Dynamics means moving body.
Okay, fixed, or you can say at rest. Okay, dynamic means in motion.
Which
Okay.
is at rest motion.
Yes, very good. So not just in motion, but changing the motion. Fine. If so let us say if an object is moving at constant velocity, then is it dynamic or static?
Static, sir.
Yes, ma? Is it dynamic or static?
Static.
Static, because there are no accelerations in this. Even though it is in motion, still we have to consider it in static. Fine. Why? The answer is because there is no change. Everything is constant. If it is constant, that means it is static. Okay. So only when the velocity changes and when there is acceleration, that is where this formula will start affecting, you know, force equal to mass into acceleration. So if there is a mass and if it is having acceleration, then only the force will start acting on it. And until and unless a force starts acting, a force starts creating the motion, we will consider it in the statics only. Okay. Now the dynamics, it has two more parts. What are these two parts? Anyone?
Kinetics and kinematics.
Okay. Kinetics. And second is
Kinematics.
kinematics. Very good. So what is the difference between kinematics and kinetics? Now, because both of them are dynamics, that means both of them have to be undergoing changing motion. Okay? But what makes them different?
In
What makes
kinetics,
them
we
different?
consider external forces.
Yes, ma'am?
In kinetics, we consider external forces also.
External forces also. So internal forces are considered in both kinematics and kinetics. So quantities like force, momentum, inertia, all these things are considered. All these things are considered. Mass and weight also. Fine. So all these quantities will be considered while studying about motion. Whereas here in kinematics, our focus will be on geometry.
Types of motion.
Yes. Also geometry and how the geometry is moving. So this will be our point of focus. So we will be ignoring the forces acting, momentum it is having, inertia, mass and weight. All these things we will just ignore in kinematics. Fine. So our focus will be primarily on the geometry and how the geometry is moving. Now when I say motion, what are the quantities which will come up in motion? Velocity, then
Friction.
acceleration,
Friction.
next.
Friction.
Position.
No, friction is a force. Friction is a
Position.
force.
Sir, time.
So friction we will not be considering here. But in your syllabus, friction topic has been included. That is actually misplaced. I don't know what the creators of the syllabus were thinking. The name of the subject is kinematics and they are talking about force in this subject. So that is actually wrong. Fine, that actually comes under kinetics or dynamics. So if the acceleration is changing, what is the rate of change of acceleration called?
Displacement.
Velocity.
Rate of change of
Velocity, sir.
Impulse.
velocity is rate of change of displacement.
Okay.
Speed, sir.
ds by dt, correct? Velocity is rate of change of displacement. Acceleration is rate of change of velocity.
Velocity.
Rate of change of acceleration, please mute yourself back. So rate of change of acceleration is called jerk. And rate of change of jerk, what is it called? It is called snap. Okay. So mostly at your level, you will not be considering the higher things. So jerk and snap, you will not be studying. You will be mainly focusing on velocity and acceleration. Fine. Because at BTech level, this itself is very, very complicated. So if you go for higher studies, maybe you will also have to study about these quantities. Okay. So is this clear? Whatever we talked about in this particular class, is this all clear?
Yes, sir.
Any doubts?
Yes, sir.
If you have any doubts, you can ask. I'll wait for 5 minutes just to go through this. And if you're getting any doubt, you can ask me. I will share the snapshot of this. WhatsApp. WhatsApp is not open. Okay, let me open WhatsApp. I'll share it to you. Or is it possible to share in the chat? Where is that thing? Yeah, it's here. Let me share it in chat. Is it possible? Yeah, it's pasted in the chat. So you can download that, go through this, and if you get any doubt, you can ask me. So did you understand what is outcome-based education system and all? Hope there is no doubt with that. Okay. So actually, we can make all these outcomes at create level, but since you are doing BTech, at BTech level, that is not required, right? So only one CO I have kept at create level, and the remaining COs you can see they are below. So one is understand, two are apply, one is analyze, and one evaluate. So all these skills we should be able to gain by the time we are done with this subject. Okay. So when the NBA team they visit, they may ask you what is CO number 2. If they ask CO number 2, you should be able to tell this. So at least a few students, 5 to 6 students. I think Durgesh sir must have identified some students, isn't it? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Durgesh sir
those
said few students.
yeah. So those students who were selected, handpicked by Durgesh sir. So those students, it's my suggestion to please by heart these COs at least for 1-2 days when the team visits. Of course, it doesn't. It's not a problem if you remember it beyond that also. Okay. If I'm ignoring a particular CO, you can always remind me, and I'll go back and try to give you that skill anytime. But NBA team may ask a particular CO out of this. So when they are asking, at least if some students are able to remember it, it's a good thing. So either you can by heart it completely, or you can take a printout or keep another mobile by the side, and you should be open it. You should be able to open it and at least tell them what it is. They may also ask you to explain what is the meaning of that particular CO. And a good part of today's class I have spent explaining it to you what it is and what each of these COs are meaning. Correct. So I hope there won't be much problem to you while explaining to them how this works like, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I will also share to you on your WhatsApp the link to access all these mechanisms. Okay. On WhatsApp is loading still. Okay, so 2K19, right? Okay. So the link is very simple. Okay. So if you click on this link, it will open a document. And this document has all the innovative teaching methodologies. And mostly the 3D models, all the 3D models are present in this file. Okay. So at the beginning, you can see there is contents, and if you want to go to a particular place, like for example, let's go for kinematics. Where is kinematics? On Onshape. Okay. Virtual model slider crank. Okay. So this is where the kinematic models are located. So you can just click on this and click here. It will directly take you. You can see it has gone to page number 144. Total 136 pages are there in this. So we have directly jumped on to 114 page number. So this page, this is where the 3D models for kinematics of machines are starting. So at the beginning, there is some explanation about what it is. Let's put it. Okay. So there is some explanation about what I have tried to achieve, how it will be beneficial, what are the facilities available with the models, on what devices you can use it, what is the cost of that. So all these things I have explained at the beginning. And this is where you can see the links are starting. So here, this is the title. Fine. This is the title and who prepared it. There are some pictures, photos showing what is available in that file. So you can see the first file is completely on 4-bar mechanisms. So we can just go here, click on this link and open it. Fine. So I'll just open in incognito mode because I'm signed in here. So if I'm opening in this particular window itself, instead of incognito, I will get all the options to edit. Whereas this is how it will be visible to you all, right? So you will not be able to edit much. You will not be able to edit much. You will just get option to zoom. Okay. And in assembly, if you see, you will have the option to animate it. So just have to right click on this, click on animate, and you can click on the play button. It will start showing you the animation. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fine. So like this, you will be able to see what the mechanism looks like, how it will function. On the mobile also, you can open it. I'll just show you by running it on mobile as well. I'll just stop sharing the screen from system. I'll share my mobile screen. Okay, share the screen. Okay. Fine. Once again, I'll just open that. Let me just go to the WhatsApp. And I've shared it in your group, right? So if you tap on this link, it will ask where you want it to open from. You can select Chrome, or if you have Google Drive installed, you can open from there. Okay. So after opening, it will ask from which account you want. With Google Docs, if it is installed, it will open here directly. Okay. If you have Google Drive, it will open with Google Drive. So this is just for printing purpose. The first page is just for printing purpose. And this is where you can start tapping. So I'll just go to the kinematics part. Okay. Eccentric, these are all machine drawing parts. Machine drawing assemblies. Okay, it's stuck. Okay. Knuckle joint and all. 3D working models, mechanisms. Okay. So this is where I want to go to. So I just have to tap on this. Just have to tap on that. And it will directly take me to that particular place. Fine. So because it is made up of tables, you have to side scroll it. If you don't want to do that, you can tap on the 3 buttons at the top right and go to print layout. If you go to print layout, it will start showing the mechanisms like this. So I can just tap on the link and wait for some time. It will take some time to jump to that particular place. Oh, sometimes it takes longer. Okay. So you can see I've jumped onto that place and I can start browsing the different mechanisms. Okay. So a total of 9 different files are available, and in each file there are different mechanisms, not just different mechanisms, different configurations of the same mechanisms are also present in some of these files. Okay, so you can just go through these files. Fine. So I have tried to make the subject as enjoyable as possible, because according to me, when I was studying the engineering myself, a lot of my friends, they used to face problems in understanding how the mechanism moves, like, because the textbook will just give you a static image, right? The textbook will not tell you by animating the mechanism. It won't show you how the mechanism actually moves, and that made this particular subject very challenging, and it used to become very difficult for my friends to be able to imagine what the motion occurs and how it occurs. Fine. So that was always, some kind of regret in my mind. And when I started teaching, I didn't want my own students to face the similar problem. And that is why I've created all these models and all. I hope you make the best use of these models. I hope you are making the best use of these models, and hope you will not face the difficulties which we came through in your time. So anything else? We are just left with around 7 minutes. So if you are having any doubts, I will clarify them. And I request all the students who are attending to open that particular link, go to the different mechanisms, browse through the file, open the mechanisms in Onshape if you have it installed, try to interact with it. And if you are getting any doubts with any particular mechanism, you can always ask. And if some students actually want to contribute to these models, if they have some idea which they want to model and present it, they can do that also. Okay, so soon after this NBA, we'll be launching a CAD club. Fine. And a lot of activities will be conducted as a part of the CAD club. A lot of machineries which are in our lab, we will try to model it in virtual CAD as virtual models. And these virtual models we can carry anywhere with us in our pockets. We can just open them anytime on our mobiles, and we can start using it. Correct. So this will go in a long way to make the teaching interesting, interactive, and a lot much better than what was possible with the traditional system of chalk and board. Okay. So I'm open for your doubts.
Yes, sir.
I'm open for your doubts. I'll stay here for 5 minutes. You can open that file. I've shared the link to your WhatsApp already. Open that link, go through the file, and if you get any doubts, please make sure you're asking them here.
So where to find that?
I've shared it on your WhatsApp number.
I have opened that file on that link, and
After that, on the right side, there are some barcodes. And above the barcode, there is a link. Can you see it?
scroll to that.
Above the barcode, there is a link. Scanning the barcode with Google Lens will also work. Scanning the barcode with Google Lens will also work. So if you have two mobiles, you can open it on one mobile, scan it with Google Lens on another. But that, I don't think that is required, because just above the barcode, there is this link. You can see bit.ly/ there is some code.
Isn't there any way for like jumping directly to that files?
Yeah, you can just tap on this link. Tap on the link.
Scrolling down to get to that point.
Yes, you can just open that link using browser. So now it is showing me options, right? So I can open with the Chrome. So choose Chrome.
What is the name for that file, sir?
Name for the file. What do you mean, name for the file?
Like this model name.
Model name is given on the left now.
Yeah. So what is that name?
So which model you're opening, it depends on that, right?
I want to open the model that is presented
Four
on your
bar,
screen, sir.
four
Yeah,
bar
4 bar.
mechanism.
Yes, sir.
So it is called quadric chain. Some images are also there, no?
Yes, sir.
So scroll to the top, this one.
No, I'm scrolling down
Okay.
to find that.
So the
Instead, I
first
was just
one is quadric chain or 4-bar mechanism. The 4 inversions are also present along with the different configurations. So this is the link. Okay, this is the link which you have to open. Okay, so just tap on that link. Just tap on that link, and it will ask you. It will give you some option. If you are using mobile, it will give some option. So I'll just open with Chrome. When I'm opening with Chrome, again, once again, if Onshape is installed on the system, it will again give the option for Onshape. Then you can tap on the Onshape option and it will open in the app. So Onshape doesn't work in layout space. It will be in portrait mode.
Sir?
So to change the units, if you want to change the units, you should go to Part Studio. But I don't think with this link, you won't be able to change the links. If you want to change the dimensions, you will all have to create an account in Onshape. All of you will have to create an account in Onshape. And later on, I will create a Google form and collect all your mail IDs. Okay. After collecting the mail IDs, each mechanism, as and when we are studying about it, I will share that mechanism to all those mail IDs that you have created. So when I'm sharing it this way, then you will be able to make the changes to dimensions also. Fine. But anyway, the time is also over. I think you will have to go for the next class. So any doubts you are having for today's class, you can ask. How to
And only
create the account and
sir,
Ama?
can you be able to edit it? Like I have
Right
logged in.
now, no. Even if you are logged in, I have not shared it with your account, right?
No, you have shared it to me, sir. Switch to Methodist College of Engineering and Technology. It is asking.
No. No, even if it is that way, it's right now not shared specifically to the different students. See here, anyone with the link can view only. Okay. So when you give me your mail ID, I will add it here.
Yeah, you have added me there.
No, I didn't add. If I added, then it will be visible here. For example, if I am adding someone, when I share, you can see now this mail ID can edit. Correct. So this option you are getting. When this option is present, only then you will be able to edit.
You can see your screen, sir.
Acha, okay. The mobile screen is shared right now. 1 minute. Anyway, let's discuss this in next class. Time is almost up, and 40 is a good enough strength, but it's not good enough if the MBA committee, makes a visit. So please encourage your friends to join in more numbers in tomorrow's class. Okay.
Sure, sir.
Okay, ma. So I'll take the attendance and you can leave.
Yes, sir.